Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kagurabachi and Shill. My name is Zen. I'm joined here by Asaratha.
We are not on payroll
We are
yet.
not on, we should be, but we're
We
not.
should be.
Call
We're
us.
working overtime.
Call,
We're working
call us.
overtime to promote this series, man.
Turning our timesheets into nobody on this.
Bro, Zen and I got the Kagurabachi Twitter bangers, dude. Holy.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about the actual peak fiction later, but before we get anywhere, so Volume 1 has dropped. Did Mamayuyu's also drop, or is it soon, or when was that?
I don't think it's dropped yet, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but Kagurabachi Volume 1 dropped. Um, it's sold out on Amazon. You said people are taking pictures in bookstores and the shelves are empty.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I owe you an apology, Kohei Horikoshi. I was not familiar with your game.
Yeah, he may not have game, but he does recognize game. Yeah, so
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Horikoshi gave
Horikoshi,
me
one
shout
last
outs.
time.
Forget what he said. He said something like Kagurabachi is like a movie,
Yeah.
and that he knows how to make stuff cool, which I liked. Uh, Also, Akutami shouted out Mamayuyu, which obviously we are not that big of a fan of, but does it does it kind of sound like they're getting set up as like the successors?
It seems like
Doesn't it seem that way a
whatever.
little bit?
I mean, we'll talk about this more because I do want to talk about Mamayuyu in particular. Whatever shift that they've had to do for this series, it seems to have worked because I don't think you would get Gege Akutami to shut it out if you were planning on killing it soon. And two, I also don't think that they would have made one of those not like animated but voice acted PVs for the manga if you were going to kill it like next week. So
Yeah. I mean, I think Mamayuyu is probably fine. Kagurabachi also seems fine. Again, like
yeah,
you wouldn't have your big mangaka
yeah, I
actively like
don't,
posting, shout outs up by all the product and
yeah,
everything.
I don't see Oda out there saying, guys, you have got to check out Greens for real. Like,
Yeah, no. Um, so I think they're both probably fine. I'm definitely picking up vibes that, management might be getting a little nervous as MHA and JJK are coming to a close and they kill everything in
yeah,
12 weeks.
and it's becoming very apparent that they are both very close to ending at this point.
Oh yeah, no, that MHA, I don't know how much long I dare not attempt to put math behind Horikoshi's whatever he's doing. Um, I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen lasts the year. I would be very surprised if it does.
I think they're
Um,
both done this year, honestly. I think MHA at a reasonable pace would finish by summer of this year, and by reasonable I mean like Horikoshi taking a break every other week. If it's like real slow, maybe by like the end of this year.
Yeah, because I mean, literally all we are really doing in both of them now is just beating the bad guy, and then
Yeah,
we're done.
fighting the big bad. That's it.
Yeah, so I think yeah, it's probably safe to say both of them are done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Jump really has nothing to stand up, because people point
Hmm.
out like, oh, well, what about like Undead Unluck and Sakamoto, and it's like those series have been on long enough that if they were gonna be the hit that Jump wants, they would
Yeah.
be by now. You know what I mean?
And I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there was apparently some editor comment from like a not like Undead Unluck's editor, but someone on like the editorial staff that said that they were to them Undead Unluck is like a big hit, which is surprising because it doesn't do super well.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Maybe they're just tempering their expectations now. I don't know.
Maybe because you look at other series like Phantom Sears, the obvious one that everyone remembers,
Yeah.
that put up comparable numbers to like some of the stuff that's still alive
Mhm.
right now, um, and it was considered like unsustainable, like it was just a flop. So
Yeah.
I don't know what their metrics are. Internally, if they say it's a hit, then more power to them. I'm glad I like it, so I'm
Yeah.
glad it didn't die. But I think they're really trying to set up some newcomers or some newbies here to get people in to like lock in on some new stuff so that
Yeah.
people don't stop buying the book when MHA and
I'm
JJK
hoping
end.
that at this point they realize that not everything is gonna be a fucking Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I mean Ocean's looked it up and he was like it's been relatively consistent like cancellation
Yeah.
numbers, but it definitely feels like there's been that weird shift since Demon Slayer happened, where everything is like on the block at all times.
Yeah.
Like Jujutsu Kaisen almost got canceled, and now look at it now. It's just like,
Like I don't think that they're gonna like there are a set amount of stories that they obviously want in the magazine, so they're not gonna get axe happy as people think anyway. But it's
yeah,
very
I think a
clear.
lot of
It's
people
very
think they just
clear.
kill stuff.
Yeah, it's very clear that for like the fucking first 30 chapters, you are on thin ice.
Yeah,
And like
if
if there's
that
a
even.
downward trend within those first 30, you're getting put on the block, and the guillotine will be waiting unless you fix
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, like look at Time Paradox Ghost Rider. I think that died on like 12 or 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Oh,
They were like, no, it's out
is
of there.
Cypher Academy is getting axed, right? I think I read
Is
that.
it? I haven't seen anything about Cypher Academy. I realized that I'm not built to read a series translated that's about Japanese wordplay, and I just didn't even touch it.
Let me look that up because I thought I saw something about it. Yeah, it's ending this week.
58 chapters then?
Now I
That
obviously haven't
could be
read
an
it, so
axe. It could
like
just be an ending.
yeah, I haven't read it, so I don't know if this is like an organic ending or if it's just it got shot.
Someone who
But
reads Cypher Academy in the comments, let us know if you
whew,
feel like this ending is organic or if you feel like
that
it
might
was killed.
that might take a while.
There's got to be someone. There's got to be someone.
I remember I started reading it and then I was like, man, this is really boring. And then I looked and I saw that it wasn't on the list of like shit you guys talk about, and I was like, I'm dropping it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I found it boring as well, but you never know. There's got to be
Yeah,
someone. There's got to be someone. It
yeah,
made it to 58 chapters. There's got to be somebody.
yeah. True.
What else were we gonna? Or maybe that was it. Was that it? Maybe that was it.
I think that's it. If
I think
there's
that's
any
it.
news,
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't use Twitter,
Uh,
man. I don't know.
I do remember seeing the one of the Twitter accounts I follow that keeps up with the sales said that Kagurabachi is already in need of reprints. Um,
That's
Kind of just
good.
goes along with the sold out thing we talked about earlier, but good
Yeah,
news, very good news. We love to see it.
yeah.
All right, rolling into content proper here. What's your top three?
Kind of threw that together, obviously, except for number one. Number three is tentative blue box. Number two is tentative two on ice. Number one is a solid life altering Kagurabachi.
Okay. Yeah, my number one is also Peak Fiction Kagurabachi Changing Lives. Uh, Number two, I had Blue Box, and then number three, I have Sakamoto.
Fair.
All right, so before we jump into those, let's do the two most recents of the in-house boys here. So we'll start with My Hero, number 413.
Oh yeah. I mean it sucked. I don't know what to tell you. Like
Yeah, I'm kind of confused now by like, how
everything.
come Deku feels like he has no agency in his own final battle?
To be expected, unfortunately. Um yeah, you remember when Deku like got to say things and think things and he wasn't told what to do by dead people?
It's just weird that like, because in the beginning the whole thing was there. They were like, "Hey, you got to kill him," and he was like, "No, I'm gonna do my own way to fix
Yeah.
this," and like he was gonna stand on his own. But now it just feels more that he's like, "Oh, whatever you guys say.
Yeah.
What's the plan, Chief?"
Dude, and I have to say, Korg magic has gone way too far, man. Like, I don't fuck with this idea anymore. Not in the slightest.
Are you
Oh,
referring to the gear shift thing?
oh, I can give aspects of my quirk away, not the whole thing. And also, there's a scar inside of the quirk, and also, if we give us over, we could take advantage of that scar. We can pry open the scar and see his soul. Like, what the fuck are
Yeah, I
you
have no idea what the
talking
fuck
about?
any of that means. I was always under the impression quirks were primarily biological. Um, but the one that confuses me the most is he's like, "Oh, well, if he steals gear shift, you won't have the drawback anymore, and
It's
he
very
will."
silly. It's
Which I
very silly.
I don't understand because I was under the impression that the drawback was just physical blowback on your body from using it. But
Even
apparently,
if
just part of his quirk is that you suck after you use it.
even after we accept the even if we accept the premise that the quirk transfer will transfer the sleepiness, which is deranged in itself, Shigaraki is a biologically modified human being, made to be naturally 100% of All Might's strength with no quirk. He'll probably be fine, wouldn't he? Like, can't he just, like, obviously he might be a little tuckered out, but can't he just take it for the most part?
Well, I know it gets worse every time, right? So they're saying that like
Yeah,
that he's gonna get it even exponentially worse than you're getting it. But
if he uses it
what if
though.
he just beats Deku to death
What if
when
he
he uses
pops
it
it and then
before
he
then?
has the 5 minutes and he just kills him? Like,
Yeah, what do you think he's supposed to do? And
it's
also, I gotta say, man, I know a lot of people were gassing it. I find the chapter end to just be sauceless. This is so sauceless.
it's very silly. Um, it's funny. I said this on stream. It's funny how Villain Hunt was the arc that was like really contrived callbacks and parallels, and now Villain Hunt is getting called back to and paralleled.
Getting a completely contrived callback for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to take out of this? Oh, look at you. I'd never guessed you were a hero because you look scary right now. But also, I'm Satan, and you're in the final. Like, what are you talking about? I
Kudo, the second user of One for All, has quickly worked his way down to my bottom tier of characters. Very, very uninteresting to read. Very fucking annoying to read.
yeah, I
Just
understand that like
trampling
it's
all over him.
supposed to be one for all versus all for one, yada yada, like it's a generational battle or whatever. But I really would like it if it didn't feel like they were doing everything and then Deku was just like the body that they were inhabiting to make the things happen.
Yeah. Also, Star and Stripe existed for a second, and people were like, "Oh my god, look, she's so plot relevant! Holy shit, look, she pointed! She pointed, guys!"
Yeah. She pointed at the little thing. I don't even know if that is. I mean, obviously it's cope on the part of like the people to justify like,
Yeah.
oh, see, she's actually useful. But like, I don't understand what the point of putting it in from Horikoshi is. What difference does it like? Oh, look, Star and Stripe found a little cut in the something. Like, what the fuck, man? I don't know. I don't care. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, I kind of wish though One for All users got their
you
screen
know,
time when All for One was still a thing.
what's funny is how the scar. This is like another aspect of Horikoshi dangling SNS doing at least something in front of you and then taking it away. It's like a scar from his battle against Star and Stripe. Not a physical scar, but a mental one. Like, okay, man.
Yeah, what does that even? Yeah, I don't know.
Also, yeah, we don't know the quirk users, so what? Like this entire thing rings hollow. We had no time with them. We are only now learning about Kudo, and we learned he's fucking obnoxious. Um, I don't know, man. I feel like this would be a really good time for Nana to be more prevalent than
Yeah,
fucking
if there's
Kudo.
gonna be anybody, right? Like, why wouldn't it be the
Yeah,
only one that we know about?
yeah. Like, oh no, Deku has to give up these quirks that he gained off screen and trained off screen and mastered off screen, and these quirk messages that I don't care about, and sometimes I forget the names of. I don't know.
The only one that I know is Kudo, and that's only because you've said it 3 times.
There's Bruce, who's the third user. There's Kudo, who's the second. The
Bruce.
fourth, yeah, the fourth is Shinomori. The fifth is Bonjo. The sixth is N. Seventh is Nana. Eighth is All Might. Boom, there we go.
Where'd they pick up Bruce from?
I don't know, man. He was just hanging out.
It's like all Japanese people except for Bruce.
He was just nearby.
Yeah, he just happened to be on call.
He had his pager and shit, and he got fucking mad. He's like, man, come on.
Oh crap, we
I
have
don't want to
to
die
give
for
it
this
over
shit.
to the one white guy nearby because no one else is readily available.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got really excited for Deku last chapter. I was like, oh, he had a coherent thought that wasn't from somebody else, and then he got trampled on the entire chapter.
Yeah, he has done almost nothing.
Especially that moment where Nana is like, "Oh wow, it's crazy that even after coming this far, he still regards One for All as an irreplaceable gift and blessing from the hero he admires most." Have him say this.
Yeah, why Nana the one saying this?
Why? Why? I don't understand. Like, why is he so insistent on making his protagonist a fucking nothing character? And I saw Cope somewhere. It was some YouTube comment section where somebody said, and you know who said this. I don't have to tell you. Somebody said, actually, Deku's character arc is a flat character arc. Since when?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, buddy.
Since like pick up chapter 1, pick up chapter 413, that alone, it's not a flat character arc. That's just not how it works. Insane cope to justify Deku being a nobody.
To having no agency in his own finale. Yeah. Uh, and you know what? Even I always see people. This is a complete tangent because that's what we do
Mhm.
best on this show.
Of course.
Uh, do you ever get tired of you saying, "Hey, I think this thing is bad," and then someone says, "Well, that's by design, actually."
I get
Like that's
extremely tired of
better
it.
that way?
It gets really old, actually. You're correct.
Like oh, it's meant to suck, actually.
Oh,
So it's
thanks.
I like it now.
That's good, actually. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you see, I thought it was just shitty, but now that I know it's intentionally shitty, it's actually great. Like, what do you want me to
I'm
say to
trying
that?
to I'm trying to find this thing that somebody DM'd me. I can't find it, but it was basically just a screen cap of oh, here it is. So, while in a conversation with Kubo, Horikoshi said, "At first I thought Deku's plainness was appealing, but looking back I'm like, why'd I make him so gloomy and boring?" So then he made him boring.
Yeah, so now he just remains boring.
So like Horikoshi looked back at the version of Deku that we actually liked and was like, I'm good.
Man. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that either, because it's not like he didn't get popular the way that you started
Yeah,
out with him. I don't know,
it's
man.
bad.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. All right, well, let's jump over to the other prodigal son here. We'll talk about Jujutsu Kaisen for a little
One
bit.
Piece. Oh,
That'll be the day when we drop the bomb on everybody that actually we're caught up with One Piece.
I don't know if I told you, but if ReZero at Anime Japan, which is this March, has either no news or the release date for season 3 is in 2025, I'm gonna start reading One Piece.
All right, all right.
So that could be
Once you
fun.
catch up with me, I'll also continue, and then we can do a little,
Oh
oh my
god.
God, we're reading One Piece thing.
Oh dude, that's gonna farm the views. Okay, yeah, let's talk about it anyway. JJK, I
Yeah,
guess.
so Jujutsu Kaisen. Remember when we said, hey, it's gonna be really funny when you have this big cliffhanger for 3 weeks and then it just doesn't do shit immediately on the first page? Hey, look what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, also Hikorama basically confirmed dead. Dog shit. Hate it. Stupid, really bad, dumb.
Yeah, if he isn't dead, I'll be amazed because like 4 different people have said that he's dead. Uh,
Yuji learning I don't have a problem with Yuji learning RCT on his own. That's fine. It's the fact that it was done in a 1 month time skip that sucks.
yeah, well, dude, that is like the most perplexing time skip in manga history to me because Gojo comes back, right? This is literally the chain of events, and I dare anybody to tell me that I'm wrong. This dude comes back, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you because you're in Geto's body, Kenjaku." And he's like, "Nuh-uh, here's 15 finger Sukuna." And Gojo's like, "Okay, I could kill you both, but what if I waited like a month and a half? Because I have stuff to do."
I gotta
And
run errands.
he doesn't even say what the stuff is. He's just like, I gotta do stuff. I gotta do things. And then so the only thing that we get the hint that he might have done is that he might have told Shoko to tell Megami about his dad, I guess.
Why
Which
didn't he
I'm
do
pretty
that?
sure. uh,
Just like, cause I saw a post about this. Wasn't there a point where Gojo said that he's gonna tell him eventually or something?
No, so there was an interview with
Interview,
him,
okay.
and someone asked him about that, like, what is Megami gonna learn about Toji? And he said one day Gojo's gonna tell him. And
Right.
I think that he remembered that when he was gonna kill Gojo, and he's like,
And he
"Oh,
was like, ah,
fuck."
fuck.
So he had to write in
Yeah,
a line really quick of just saying Shoko's gonna do it.
okay. I thought I remembered saying something about that, and I was like really confused because I was like, why? Like, did he forget? Like, why didn't he remember that the whole time?
I think it literally was just him being like, "Oh shit, I'm about to kill him," and he can't tell him, so I gotta just have Shoko, the character that Megami has never once been on screen with.
Dude, if I forgot and I got to that point, I would have just said, "Fuck the interview, man. Whatever."
Yeah, I was like, I changed my mind. It was like years ago. Fuck it.
Honestly, I would have preferred that because it'd been like, oh, like he just never got the chance to say anything about it. That sucks.
Yeah, because they get a little bit of tragic ending there. Um, why did Gojo give them a month and a half so that he could get strong enough to kill him?
Gojo needed to bench press some stuff. He needed to get
It,
strong. He needed to pull the fridge on the beach like Deku.
listen, if you are gonna look at that time skip and you're gonna say he wanted the time skip so that he could kill Kenjaku on the day that Geto died, and you're gonna tell me that they are not in love, I'm gonna tell you that you're full of shit because that's the most gay shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, what what do you mean that's the reason? He died for that, man.
Yeah. Credit where credit is due. I think the Sukuna inner monologue in this chapter was cool. I like that stuff.
Yeah, his little bit about like starting to become irritated that other people are living their lives with purpose and all that stuff. I thought
Yeah,
was
I
pretty
thought it
cool.
was cool. Also,
Uh,
Yuta,
yes, Yuta popping up at the last minute,
Yuta.
amazing. Thank God we're done with is Kenjaku going to take Yuta's body theories. Thank God that's over with. Uh, I am really
No,
hopeful that we get
he's.
some masterclass work out of Yuta just because like somebody has to do something for the good guy team, you know?
We all know that Kenjaku's gonna take over Nobara. It's fine. Don't worry about
And like so we got like who we got left on the hero side? We got Yuji who still won't tell us what his powers are. He just isn't gonna.
it. I have
We've
gloves.
got Kusakabe, whose only job is to be wrong about shit all the time. Um,
If he says next chapter, "Oh man, Yuta's got this," I'm fucking dropping
Yuji's
JJK,
here. He's gonna win. I'm like, oh well, fuck.
dropping the series.
It's all over.
I have a question for you, Zach.
Okay.
If Yuta does something cool for one chapter and then dies, do you drop JJK?
No, but that's only because I've kind of expected that. Like,
Oh, okay.
I'm hitting the point where I'm just like it just feels like it has to be done for shock factor more than anything else at this point, right? Like,
So are you basically at the point where I am with MHA, where it's undroppable because you've come this far and it's so close to being over?
yes, oh God, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't actively dislike it. I just don't really have that high hopes for it anymore. I guess
hmm
I'll say now I'm just kind of like settled into the we're smashing our action figures together kind of thing that it's become recently.
I gotta say, it's crazy how much people on Twitter hate Yuta.
Well, I
Like
think
for what?
I don't know how much of that is a
So, a
meme. I
lot of
think
it is a
most of it is
joke.
a meme.
There's definitely a lot of jokes, but there are some people who like, are not joking, and I know them personally.
That's very weird to me because Youth is like the least offensive character ever created. He's just a little humble guy that's also
A lot of
extremely badass and
people
has good
are.
powers.
I saw it last night while in bed. A lot of people are still malding about the sneak attack on Kenjaku.
Okay, well that was like God, how long ago was that? That was like a month ago, two
They're
months
still
ago.
talking about it.
Like, dude, let it go. Also,
How dare
what did
you
you
do
want
something
more
tactically
Kenjaku?
efficient?
Like, I thought people hated Kenjaku.
How dare you do something tactically efficient to kill someone, the big bad that will kill everyone?
Yeah, I've never really understood that because it's like literally in that exact fight, Kenjaku's explaining about how he has an unfair advantage because he can track all of their locations at all
Yeah.
times. And then they find a way around it, and it's like, oh, the good guys are actually the bad now. Like, what are you talking about? Hey, remember when Kenjaku beat Gojo by ambushing him with a exact
Yeah.
counter to his abilities?
Hey, you remember when Toji won by ambushing?
I
This
think
is
I've seen a meme
sneak.
for with Toji where it's
This
like the
entire like
strong and independent, and then it's like broke
yeah.
ass was Yutas.
This entire series is about sneak attacks because they fucking work, man. Or like unfair number advantages. Like we give Sukuna shit, obviously, but like if you're trying to beat Gojo, which that's still in the air. Obviously, you want to 3v1 him, right? Like, come on.
Right, and like it's kind of always been that way. Like the people hyped it up when it was Yuji and Nanami beating the shit out of Mahito together, or like Yuji and
When it was
Toto's team
Yuji and
up
Toto,
fights.
yeah,
Yeah,
there are not that many one-on-one fights in the series, and that feels intentional, probably because
it's
these
just
people
weird
these
to
people need to get their ass beat.
yeah, exactly. Like it's the right way to fight in these situations. I don't
It's
know.
like it's like decades of conditioning of like fucking Dragon Balls, where people it's like 1v1 and people on the sidelines are like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, they'll stand there and just
Yeah,
talk. Like, wow, look
yeah.
at them
I'm
fighting.
analyzing this fight to the detail instead of going to fucking shoot this dude with a fucking 9 mil.
Yeah, imagine how crazy the Cell games would have been if Goku and Gohan just fought him at the same fucking time.
So like I think that's part of it. It's kind of like an expectation for shonen, and a lot of I mean JJK has that with fucking Gojo versus Sukuna, and it sucked. People didn't like it. So
Yeah,
when
I
when
don't
when
know.
everyone was like
I don't
watching for
really
the
know what
TVs,
people want from Jujutsu Kaisen because I feel like every week I see a complaint about something that's counterproductive to a complaint that someone else had the prior week, and it's like, dude, Rika just came out and fucking Donkey Kong palm slapped Sukuna. Like, that's cool. Just read that and enjoy that.
just let Yuta do a domain expansion and one shot Sukuna, and then the series ends, and then we're done.
And then we're done. That's all we need. And then we don't ever have to read these stilted ass translations ever again.
Oh yeah, some of these were rough, right?
Oh, dude. Oh, he died, but I lost Supreme Martial Solution.
Dude, what is that?
I don't know, man. Why? First of all, that pisses me off because that literally means that the entire, like, all Yorozu was there for was to give him that fucking baby rattle so that he could shoot lightning at Kashimo one time and dodge Higuruma's domain expansion.
That's
All it's
it, which
for.
is
Literally
crazy.
the only purpose of that item. Oh my god. And
That is
also,
actually insane.
remember in the last chapter prior to this one when Higuruma and Kusakabe were talking and Higuruma was like, actually, if you think about it, curses would probably become stronger after you die. So if Sukuna kills me, I think that's a good thing. And then he killed him, and that was completely wrong and it unbelievably inaccurate. And all the curse
Yeah,
power is gone now. Oh, I
man,
don't know, man.
it's kind of crazy how two characters just learn RCT back to back. Well, I guess usually learned it off screen, but
Yeah, Yuji had it before this off screen during the training gap, but Higuruma just like did it
and then died.
and then died immediately. Yeah, which cool, good on you, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
You healed for one page and then got instantly killed. That's pretty cool.
Bro took 99 damage when he had 100 health, healed 1 HP, and took 99 damage again.
Critical hit back to back. Potion was not enough. I don't know, man. It, Yuta's status as like prior main character has to mean something, I would assume. So he's
Yeah,
not
we'll
gonna
see.
get Kusakabe and just like, wow, he's doing great, and then die immediately. Like he's got to do something, I would
Yeah.
think. Hey, where's Maki? I'm gonna ask this every week until Maki shows up. Where's
She
Maki?
is sleepy.
Like, Yuta went to wherever the hell Kenjaku was, killed him, got all the way back here, and is now fighting Sukuna right after killing
And Maki is
Kenjaku.
still
Where's
MIA.
Maki? What? She
Yuta
really
is
is
like
Toji, bro,
traveling.
because she's dodging any and all responsibility whatsoever.
Yuta is like traveling across the fucking prefecture, and like,
Yeah, dude, Yuta's like
where is
catching
she?
the metro to get back here on time. And fucking Maki hasn't done anything. She's not even been on panel once.
I don't know. I'm kind of confused about this.
And a lot of people, because I asked it on Twitter too, I was like, where the fuck is Maki? And people are like, oh, one person was like, she's probably helping Hikari, which is that's the worst place for her to possibly be right now, would
Well,
be
we didn't
helping
see her there,
Hikari.
so why would we assume that?
One, why would we assume that? Two, why would you send one of your strongest fighters to go help the immortal guy that can't die? What? Hey, why would you do that?
I don't know, man. I feel like having the person who's like more or less immune to domains at a fight against Sukuna would be a little bit useful sometimes.
Yeah, also, why would you have literally anybody other than the bare necessities for the other people, like Hikari getting Uroma out of the way? Why would you have literally anyone else not helping with the plan that is literally, I'm gonna make a sword that instantly kills Sukuna and instantly kill him with it? Why would that not be everyone's priority? Right?
I don't know, man.
I,
Maybe Maki left Japan too, just like Kamo.
Maki just bounced. She went back to the destroyed ruins of the
Yeah,
Zenin mansion to
yeah.
chill.
Fuck this, man.
I don't want to fight this guy. Oh my god, dude. I don't know.
Sukuna got world slashes now. I better keep my ass off Japan or I'm finished.
Gojo went down and Maki was like, I'm good. I think I'm good, actually. Hey, also, thinking about it, so this is just me venting and complaining. Remember when Gojo did the giant hollow purple that like blew up the whole city? And
Yeah.
Yuta was like, Kusakabe, you're right. It's a good thing I didn't go out there because Gojo wouldn't have been able to blow up the whole city if I was out there, and then Gojo died immediately. Um, hey, why wouldn't they have just gone and helped him? Like, I don't understand the logic of like, oh, he would do this thing, this super cool thing that would kill everyone, but he won't do it on Gojo if they're fighting one on one. But if Yuta also went out there, he would do whatever his super special ability is, which I guess would be reverting to his old form. Except I like we'd be in the same situation that we're in right now, except we'd also have Gojo helping fight the
Like,
Ultra form.
man, now that we learned that the plan was to stab him with the sword, they probably should have just jumped him.
Yeah, right? Like, as soon as Sukuna couldn't use his domain expansion anymore, every single one of those fucking characters should have been there beating his ass. Like, there's no
Yeah.
reason. And they get the justification of, like, oh, Gojo couldn't have blown up the city to kill Maharaga in one hit if I was there.
You could just
You
stab
were
him.
gonna fight Maharaga! Like, maybe he wouldn't have needed to blow up the city if Gojo and Sukuna were fighting one on one. I
Yeah,
don't.
or if you just stabbed him with the sword,
Yeah, or
because
yeah,
like
if
he
you
got
just had
jumped by.
Higuruma out there and you did the plan to stab him with the sword, but also Gojo was there,
Yeah,
probably would have been a lot better.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's like some level of suspension of disbelief because it's a shonen manga, and like sometimes these things just
You have to
happen
just do
for the
stupid shit,
sanctity of the plot, I
yeah,
guess.
to make the plot go forward.
But yeah,
I don't know.
they should have jumped him, bro.
Yeah, they really should have.
And then
Hindsight's
I know people are
2020, I
gonna be
guess.
like,
But
oh well, then people would have died. Yeah, well, here we are.
yeah,
People are
well,
dying.
guess what? Yeah, look how well everyone's doing now. What do you think about the theory that they're collecting the dead bodies off the battlefield so that Yuta can get their techniques?
I thought you were gonna say so that they can get revived, and I was gonna say I think that should happen because it would be funny.
No, if there's anything we've learned throughout our time reading Jujutsu Kaisen, it's that Shoko Yeri cannot fucking do anything. So she ain't resing anybody. But I've seen people say, oh, they're taking the bodies away so that Yuta can copy from them. Um,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, maybe. Cool, I guess. I don't
Because
know.
because why else? I just don't like. Why else would you highlight? Oh, look, they're picking up the bodies. Like,
Trust, dude, when they get back up in like 3 chapters and Gojo is standing there.
Gojo
Just
and
remember
Higuruma
this
pop
conversation.
back
Yeah,
up together.
remember this conversation. Because I don't know, dude. There's a part of me that's like JJK has like focused way too hard on like the death of Jujutsu Society and sorcerers and like how miserable it is and how short your lifespan is. I think it would be very fucking funny and not impossible for in the final arc for Gege to actually revive somebody.
Just to do it. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. I also think it would be really stupid, but also very cool if Yuta was randomly like, "Oh, I can also use Hollow Purple now."
That'd be fucking baller, dude. I don't know, man. A lot of the things that I think about for this series, I'm just like, oh, that would be funny. That should happen.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. I'm kind of like, "Oh, that would be neat. Do that thing. Do that silly thing."
Like, fucking imagine, like, Yuta pops his domain expansion, and then once it's over, Sakuna turns around, dude. Higurama and Gojo just standing there alive. Peak comedy. Be so funny. Love to see the timeline on that.
Higuruma and Gojo show up in Yuta's domain expansion, and they're like, "You thought this was a 1v1, but actually, it's a 3v1."
Yeah, yeah, just like that.
Oh my god, dude.
That'd be Kino.
All right. You said you wanted to talk about Mamayuyu, so let's talk about Mamayuyu before
Yeah,
we
I
go
wanted to
on.
talk about Mamayuyu real quickly to say that this series is like a shell of its chapter 1 and 2 self.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I liked it before. I don't like it now. Um, but that seems to not be the consensus, more or
Yeah,
less.
well,
Um,
I mean, if you like really want to put it on a scale, our opinions are objectively correct. So like,
that's
you
true.
know, yeah,
Yes. So obviously that it doesn't matter that most people don't agree because they're wrong.
yeah.
Um, but I just like, does it feel like they saw Nue's Exorcist and they were like, what if we did a little of that?
A
What if we got in on board with that a
little
little
bit,
bit?
a little bit, yeah. It's sad, man, because chapter 1 and 2, I was like, this is very interesting, and I like the relationship between Corleo and her name was Mama, right, or some Mama? I don't remember anymore because she's been gone for fucking the entire manga.
Yeah, it hasn't done anything. She's in the name and the title, like the cover,
Yeah,
and
and I
then
was like,
shit.
oh, this will be fun to explore, and then she just sort of disappeared
Yeah, and now we're just like doing.
in favor of every character introduced having a fucking crush on Corleo.
Yeah, which is very tiring very quickly.
Like, if you want every character to have a crush on Corleo, at least let Corleo be a fucking Giga Chad instead of somebody who can't like talk to women, please.
Yeah, well, no, because that I mean it's the Nue's Exorcist principle where like he has to be a loser because
Yeah, I
then the
know.
readers are like that's me. I would actually also
We
get girls
just
like
we
this.
we just don't have a good grasp on loser culture, man. I don't know.
No, 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 no. See, we're too far detached from like horrific loser culture to properly understand uh, the vibe that you need for a
Yeah,
series to succeed. Apparently,
I'm sorry to all of the Shonen and Shell viewers. You know, Zen, you should have gotten a loser on instead of me.
yeah, we needed the Coomer host to balance it
Yeah,
out.
you should have like found a fucking a gooner in your audience and plucked him out and brought him
The ambassador for Nue's Exorcist.
in. This is just it's unfortunate because we read Weekly Shonen Jump, but we don't have a gooner in chief. So like, it's just
Gooner in chief. Yeah, it's not great. I don't see the appeal. I know that other people see appeal. Not me. And I am glad that at least some people in the comments have been agreeing. Like some people have been like, yeah, as soon as like the bathing suit thing happened, I was just completely like mentally checked
yeah.
out. I was
And
like,
also,
fuck.
I do want to be saying fairness to Mamayuyu. It's not really doing gooner shit. It's like not really
No,
that
it's
excessive.
like the PG version of Gooner
It's
shit.
just like I read it and I cringe. That's the worst it gets.
Yeah, it's not like all the girls are suddenly. Actually, I don't know. Wasn't there like an accidental groping at one point?
I think so. Although it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not big on it.
I really miss the messaging from chapters 1 and 2, and I feel like it's just a complete shell of itself, which is why it's popular now.
Yeah, well, you got to ditch your individuality and
Yeah.
appeal to the the lowest
I don't
common
know, man.
denominator.
I don't know why, but like as soon as Alicia got added, I was like slowly falling out of favor. I don't really know why. Like I can't put a finger on why I'm not really fond of her as a character. I haven't really thought about it enough, but like every time she's on screen, I have the urge to start fucking like my eyes glaze over.
Yeah, I just can't really care too much about anyone in this series, to be honest.
Yeah. Corleo was really cool for a couple chapters, but yeah.
Yeah, for like the first like month, pretty banger.
Yeah. And
Now,
I want more fucking Mamama, dude. What the hell?
yeah, well, that's never happening. So,
I guess not.
good luck. Never
Yeah.
coming back.
It sucks, but you know,
Yeah, well.
such is the life of these shonen manga that have to cave to demand.
Yeah, have to cave to Gooner demand to succeed. All right, I guess that puts us in top three range, which looks like first one is, as I scroll through, Undead Unluck.
Uh, you and I actually already talked about this a little bit in DM, so we already got some
Yeah,
we got
we
some
already have
practice
a
in.
pretty common thread here.
Yeah. Uh, I still like Undead Unluck, of course, but damn, is this shit slow and sometimes not very good.
Yes, Undead Unluck has like some of the highest peaks you've ever seen, but then on
Hmm.
average, I'm just like, man, we're still doing this, huh? It feels like we have been tracking these people post loop for like a year and a half, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I
oh
I
my
like
God.
the I like the way I put it in our DMs last night, where I said post loop serves the purpose to humanize and flesh out the sidecast, but ironically, the fact that we're just checking boxes makes them feel less human.
Yeah, because like it none of it feels really all that unique for each of them.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, here's this person from the past loop. We need their ability and we need them to not be sad. So we're going to fix their sad. And then they do. And then the guy's like, okay, I'll join you. And then they don't fucking do anything else for the rest of the everything.
I also said on a previous episode this is like if you gave an entire volume to every Class A character in My Hero Academia, and it's still ringing true because not every
Yes,
class member deserves a volume. Like the
it
Unburnt stuff,
really feels that way.
sheesh, the Unburnt stuff was, and dude, we get that much stuff for like fucking Phil or Unburn, whatever his fucking name is, and we get like one chapter for Juiz. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know, man. And like between Yui's and like Billy showed up and he got like mixed in with multiple other people, and then he hasn't done
Yeah.
jack shit since. He was like one of the biggest characters pre-loop.
This is just spending way too much time not really doing anything, is the issue.
Yeah. Also, Top really, I don't remember him just looking exactly like Killua in pre-loop.
No, he definitely looks different in this loop. He looks, I think, significantly older. Maybe not significantly, but
He does
a
look
little bit
older.
older.
Yeah, he looked younger, and
Maybe
he looks
because they
more
wanted to
like a teenager now than he did before.
they wanted to patch up the Epstein relationship with Unbreakable.
Oh God. I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of it. Like, it's not enough spectacle to keep me super interested in the chase. I don't know,
Hmm.
man. I'm not really. Eh.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
still
I
enjoyed it
still
more than most everything else this week, but
yeah
that you know how I
yeah.
feel about most everything
Sometimes it's
else.
not hard.
So what does that mean, right?
In anime news, Undead Unluck's second opening and ending were very disappointing. Very, very, very
Really?
disappointing.
That's a shame.
I fucking loved the first opening and ending. Phenomenal. Music, both song and visual wise, they were incredible. The second, not so much. Actually, I was so excited when I saw it finally got uploaded to YouTube, dude. I was like, fuck yeah. Let's go. And then it was like the most stereotypical shonen anime opening of all time. And then I was just like, oh, where did the dog go?
Can't compete with Mashal OP2, man. Can't compete with it.
I am so pissed off that a fucking series like Mashal got that opening, bro.
The absolute banger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so mad about.
Oh man, it really is good. It's so good.
I put that shit on my Spotify, bro. It goes hard.
It does. Oh man. All right. So next we got two on ice, which is all you because I not even gonna lie to you, I did not read it. So
You didn't read it?
no, I forgot it exists.
um, that's happened to me a couple times with something, but since we switched to the new format, I haven't had to talk about. So I don't remember what, but there was something that I forgot to read, and because of the new format, we didn't talk about it, and I didn't realize till after. I was like, "Holy fuck, that was a close call." um, the idea of the antagonist of a ice skating manga being this fucking like sick and twisted is really funny, so I like it. Like he's so melodramatic, it's really funny, and I think it's enjoyable. Um, like in his, he's just going on like a villain monologue, and like the protagonist, I don't remember his name anymore, was like he was just like this guy's a fucking dick. Like it's just really fun. Um, I'm happy to see that the fear of holding her hand was like a one-time thing, as he literally realizes I am in charge of your life while I'm doing shit with you like this. Like I am hoisting you up, and there is a massive chance of injury, and I need to be more responsible. I like that. That was cool. It was something that would have been really easy to gloss over. They put a big focus on being a woman in this occupation, because you're putting your life in the hands of the man who has to hoist you up and do all this crazy shit with your body and could just fuck you up like irreparably if they make a mistake. I thought that was really cool. Um, and I also like that while he understood that, oh, this is scary. He also recognized the beauty in being held up, a few meters into the air that he doesn't. It's a perspective that he didn't get to see, and I thought that was
Right.
cool.
That is neat. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you should read it next time.
Yeah, now that I remembered it's being published, I'll do that.
Well,
All right,
you'll
next
probably
up we
only
got Blue Box.
you'll probably only have to remember that Two and Ice gets published for like another couple months, so don't worry about it. This was a good chapter. You remember how back during the Akane Banashi stuff, I was like, man, I really wish that Akane like got to feel a loss for once,
Yeah,
for longer than 5 seconds. This feels like that's what this could be. Hopefully, she got injured, they lost the game, and she puts that all on herself, and she tries to hide that feeling. And I also like that no one believed her. Like it wasn't just Taiki that realized it. Everyone was like, yeah, she's bullshitting. Like she's not fine.
yeah, she's not okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
like why
sure.
would she be? It's just a nice little moment. Oh, these are actually people that pay attention to the people around them. Like it's cool. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes you feel kind of like we talked about with Undead Unluck, where it feels like everyone's just there to fulfill a quick role and then
Yeah.
slide back into the background. It makes the people here feel like they're kind of actual humans interacting with one another. Um, I like the injury, and I like the her putting it all on her shoulders, even though obviously that's dumb because one, you're
You
hurt,
got
and
fucked.
two, if you're the player who's carrying the team that badly that they lose because you go out, then they were only there because of you to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and I also liked the little bit of them going to the river just so she can finally have a moment where she doesn't have
That
to
was
be
very yes. I
tough in
really
front of
enjoyed that.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
solid.
very sweet.
I liked it.
I also
Blue
really
Box has
like
been
the
good.
page where she smiles at him and then immediately turns into crying right
Yeah,
afterward.
yeah. At first it was a little jarring. I was like, oh, we're like going that quickly, but that's probably the point.
Yeah, that's just like a quick emotional turnaround. It was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's getting an anime too, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
I feel like
it.
it has like a trailer or something out, doesn't it?
I think so. I don't remember.
I remember seeing something in color and being like, oh,
Oh, huge.
yeah. But Blue Box is really good, and I
Yeah,
really
it's
like
cool.
it. And I really like when it leans into like the sports side of things, but not just for the sake of being like, oh, it's the sports. But I just kind of
Yeah,
like how,
it intermingles.
yeah. And now we've kind of gotten to the point where they're an established couple, and there's no longer the will
Hmm.
they won't they to carry it.
Hmm.
So it's just about how they like go about their day-to-day lives now, like how life is
Yeah.
different now, which I like. It's good. I'm a fan. So that means next we have Sakamoto Days, the perpetual rawness and swag machine.
It was raw.
It was raw as hell.
There's absolutely zero chance that Nagumo got off screened because I mean we
No,
know what his
no, no,
powers
no,
are,
no.
so like we know what
I
his
mean,
powers
somebody
are. Like,
called
come
it on
on.
Twitter like the minute that this chapter dropped. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's definitely faking his death." Like, either he's faking his death or he's in disguise. One of the two, as the guy that won.
Yeah.
Way too major a character to get off screened.
Also, the author loves drawing cool shit way too much to have Nagumo's defeat off screened.
That's also true.
Like, come on.
Like we wouldn't see it happen to just for the spectacle alone.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's crazy to me is that there's fucking Sakamoto Days leakers on the timeline now.
Really? What
I
is there to
dodged the
leak?
leaks, but I'm like, is nothing sacred, bro? Like, can I not open up the magazine in a couple weeks and have fun? Jesus Christ, man.
Well, you gotta get your Twitter points
I guess so.
so that you can be like that JJK guy and hated by everybody.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's kind of funny. I remember he shouted out Kagurabachi and everyone was like, "No, everyone's gonna hate Kagurabachi now."
Man, nah, we'll be chilling.
No,
Yeah, Sakamoto was
Kagurabachi's too
fun.
strong for that. Yeah,
Sakamoto was fun. I liked it. As usual, don't have much to say about it. I just enjoyed it.
yeah, it's very cool. The page turn where Nagamo, air quotes probably, is dead was pretty jarring. I was like, "Oh shit!" when I got there the first
Yeah,
time.
that was intense.
Yeah. Um, I like how even when the serious shit is going on, it doesn't lose like the charm of that silliness. Like
Yeah.
Sakamoto running so fast that his cheeks are like flapping in the wind. Was really good.
Now Sakamoto. Wait, let me open up the chapter. Sakamoto found his body. Right?
Right at the end. Yeah.
Is he gonna go a little apeshit? Is he about to pop off?
Maybe? I don't know.
Like, I don't think he's gonna kill anyone, obviously, because he's
No,
not gonna
no,
do
he's
that.
definitely not
But like,
gonna. But yeah, is he gonna have like a revenge rampage?
yeah,
Maybe.
is he gonna go crazy?
I don't know. That doesn't really feel like it's super in character for him.
We'll see, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Also, I just feel like the way that they are showing the guy that air quotes won, I feel like that's Nagamo in disguise, dude.
It is, yeah.
They're
Actually,
they're
you know
they're
what?
way too much emphasis on him and like looking at his
Yeah,
face and stuff.
Sakamoto's probably gonna look at that. At the next chapter, it's gonna be like Sakamoto's gonna be like, "Oh, it's a body double," and that's how we'll find out. Like, he's just
Oh
gonna know
yeah, he'll
instantly.
just know. Yeah. Oh, it's like a fake
Yeah,
body
he
or something.
he does this all the time. Yeah, no, he's fine.
Yeah. And that might actually might be why they had Sakamoto find the body so that he can
Yeah.
tell us what happened. Because
Hmm.
there's just no way that Nagamo got off screen like that. It's just not possible.
No shot.
Not no shot. Yeah, least
Yeah.
believable fake death ever. It did catch me for a minute when the very first time I saw it. I was like, oh shit. But then I was immediately like, wait a minute. No, there's no way that.
Wait a minute, that's what he does. He fakes shit.
Yeah, there's no way that a character that big got off screen randomly right here by just some guy. Like not even the main guy, just like a dude. Not happening. All right, it's time.
Yeah, can we stop the filler?
Yeah, with the filler section is over. It's Kagurabachi time.
You know how YouTube has like the little most replayed bump on like the seeking bar? That
Yeah,
should be the Kagurabachi section. We should work on that.
dude, what a banger arc finale. This is like
Man,
Jesus, dude.
I'm gonna make a video on this arc at some point because it's fucking phenomenal. This entire conflict being about differences in interpreting art is so cool, and it's such a cool way to deliver it too. Like I am the number one warrior that art can be interpreted in so many different ways by so many different people. So like I don't think appealing to authorial intent is the be all end all of any interpretive analysis. So like him rejecting the desire to like know more about Chihiro's father is rejecting the author's interpretation to substitute his own. And a lot of people online will be like, "Hey, you can't do that," but no, you literally can.
You
That's what Death of the
have
Author
to
is.
most of the time, to be honest. Like,
And this arc in its entirety is basically the essay Death of the Author. It's an old French literary essay. I mean, everyone knows the term, but nobody's read the fucking book. Or that's not a
right.
book; it's an essay. Nobody's read the essay. I have. It was pretty good. He basically argues that when the second that text hits a page or like art hits a canvas, the author enters their own death and nothing remains. But for example, for literature, nothing remains but the text, and the text doesn't have a subject. It's just text. So everyone's art, and that's what sword making is. It's a form of creative expression. Will impact people differently, and I mean we've seen it throughout the entire beginning of the story, talking about how people interpret the sword differently. How at the end of the day, it's still a tool of war, and that's what this arc is explicitly saying. That there's no right answer, and as long as you can back up your interpretation, that's what matters. And Chihiro thinks back to his dad saying, "Oh hey, this is still a tool for killing people, and that they aren't the right answer." And that's when he finally swallows the hard pill that Sojo isn't wrong. And that was so gas, dude. And
The
like
whole bit
like
where Sojo is kind of like, I guess you were right after all, and Cheers like, both of us like
yeah,
were
like
chosen by them.
like you and I talked about on Twitter the other day, it would have been so easy to make this a fight where Chihiro proves him wrong somehow, but the fact that the author refused to do that is so much more interesting. Chihiro had to accept Sojo's interpretation of his father's work. And instead of hand waving it off, he had to take that interpretation into account to morph his own. And that's really fucking cool, man.
And I really like the end bit where it's like, even though they both kind of accepted that like no one's inherently wrong here, it just becomes a personal thing at the end where
Mhm.
he's like, I'm still gonna kill you. Like you're still not someone who's equal to my father. I'm
Mhm.
gonna still kill you right here. But that doesn't mean that I'm like rejecting wholesale what you think.
Yeah.
And then the confirmation of it, where he goes to grab the stone, and the stone that only the dad could work with because he thinks that he
Mhm.
can finally do it, and he can't, and it fucking kills him. It's so good, dude.
I'm
It's so
also
good.
gonna even go as far as to say that Chihiro being so like silly and edgy in chapter one was super on purpose at this point because it was about our interpretation of Chihiro, right? Like our surface level interpretation without seeing another perspective, right? And at the start, he was steadfast in his idea of what the Enchanted Blades were, and as far as we knew, he was an overtly edgy protag. But then we see more of him, right? Like we get more to work with, just like Chihiro did against Sojo. You know, Char gets introduced and shows us a different, softer side to him, the way he treats this kid. It also shows us him prioritizing saving a life before the sword. You know, in that I think it was a few chapters ago. Um, and after accepting Shoujo's point of view, he shatters the sword that he was trying to acquire the whole time.
Hmm.
So it's like we started with this interpretation of Chihiro right off the bat, and then we see all these things along the way that morph that interpretation into, oh hey, maybe it's not as simple as we thought, which is basically analogous to the conflict here with Sojo as well. Also,
Oh, it's so
uh,
good.
Chihiro telling Char that he doesn't want her to touch his arm because
Yeah,
like she shouldn't
his
have to do
cut
that. That
off
was
arm.
that was that was so cool.
Hmm. Also, the way that he won the fight, I thought was really cool,
Yeah.
because anime fight is just kind of like, oh no, he got his powers even higher than mine. But the fact that he turned it off so that Soto moved too fast and missed before he could hit him, I thought was really cool. Because
Yeah.
he released the speed increase so that when he swung to hit the faster version, he swung too soon,
Hmm.
and missed him. And then the final shot of last chapter, not the most recent one, but the one before it too, of Cloud Gouger splitting in half, is so good.
Yes. Fucking phenomenal series. And if you're not reading Kagurabachi, you're not living right, dude.
Yeah, what are you doing with yourself? What's wrong with you?
If you're gonna read some other Shonen Jump slop, dude, at least get a fucking good meal on the way over to your slop, your
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
trough.
Read your slop and then have a Kagurabachi chaser, so you can have a good taste in your mouth afterward. How about that?
Very, very good. And Boruto fans are already beefing with Kagurabachi fans for no particular reason.
Yeah, what a weird thing to find a series with 18. I think it's because Kagurabachi is like in competition with it on Manga Plus or something. Um,
Oh.
because I think that yeah, they're like close in view numbers, but also that shit is 18 chapters, dude. Maybe you have a little bit of confidence in yourself for once in your life. I know that's a foreign concept for Boruto readers, but for God's sake.
Bro, I just opened up Manga Plus and fucking Boruto is at number one.
Yeah, but they have to make a whole big fucking stink about it, because even though
Kagurabachi,
everyone's reading it, no one likes it. So
Kagurabachi is still a solid ninth.
yeah, it's still doing really well
It's
for a
still
series
up
with
there
18.
with
Yeah.
it's still up there with Oshinoko, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball fucking Super. So like it's it's doing pretty well internationally.
Yeah, I'm glad that it seems to have gotten the JP support that it was missing with all those
Yeah.
sellouts. Um, it's still doing well internationally. I have high hopes for Kagurabachi for the future. This is where I'm hanging my hat when Jujutsu Kaisen ends. It's Kagurabachi.
Save me, Kagurabachi.
Save me, Kagurabachi. Save me.
I'm gonna be the world's first Kagurabachi content creator. I'm gonna
The
change lives.
original Bachi, bro.
Zen and I will always be the original Bachi Bros. When people were making fun of the series chapter one, him and I were both like, it was fine.
Yeah, we were like, it was all right, and then as we grow, I'm
Yeah,
like, it's kind of gas.
yeah.
And then here we are, one of the best endings to an opening arc in a very long time from
This
anything
this
shonen
like
related.
I'm trying to think. This very well could be or probably is my favorite shonen like opening arc ever.
I can see it. It's up there. It's not my favorite one, but
I
it's up there.
I am of course very fond of stories that tackle like death of the author and stuff. So I was always a little inclined to like it, but this was fucking fire.
Yeah, it was absolute fucking flames. I think my favorite opening arc in anything is probably Land of the Waves. Um,
Mhm.
in Naruto, pretty hard to top that for me, but this is still fucking peak. Just absolute peak fiction.
It was so good, man.
It was so good. Like I don't know how you like read this and not enjoy yourself in any way. Like even if you don't care about the themes, which are there. So like if you want the themes, you've got them. But even if you don't care about that and you're just like, slam face into desk, need big action scene, it's got that too.
Got that too, yeah,
It's
dude.
got
That
that. It's the
fucking
complete package.
that chapter, bro, where he tanks the entire like lightning strike. That was
That
so
shit
raw.
was so sick. Nothing that has like in any series I can think of in a long time has been as cool as the chapter where he's just in the background of all the panels killing everybody while nobody knows what's going on. That shit was
Oh,
so fucking sick. I don't know,
I,
man.
lo- I love stories that talk about the beauty of art, bro. It's so Kino.
And it's cool to do it because a lot of series that do it with an artistic thing as its base.
Yeah.
Akane Banashi, like Time Paradox Ghost Rider,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. It's a story about art from the perspective of an artist. This is a story about art from the perspective of someone who is viewing and cares very much
Mhm.
about art.
Mhm.
Chihiro can't make swords.
Yeah.
He's, obviously very attached to his father's interpretation of sword making and what it means and what it meant to him. And then he's going out and he has to like his original goal is just I'm going to get them all back because my dad would hate what's
Yeah.
happening to them. And now it's sort of become that he's got to stop the bad person from doing a bad thing with the weapon, but it's not about like, oh, I have to redeem my father's legacy or whatever because like it or not, your father's legacy is the way that people interpret what he did in his life, whether that's what you think it should be or what everyone else comes to as well. So him breaking Cloud Gouger and destroying it instead of trying to get it back and like collect it in
Oh
some
god, it was
box or
so
something,
good.
it's so good, dude. I did not see that coming at all. I thought for sure they were gonna get it and like give it to someone else
Holy.
or Sogo would get away and come back later or something. I did not see him breaking it. Like even if Soja died, I did not think he was gonna destroy the sword. It's
Yeah.
so fucking good. It's
I
so
can't wait for
good,
this
dude.
second arc, dude. This second arc's gonna be fucking flame.
I'm so ready, man. If it's even, it doesn't even have to be as good as this one. If it's even close to
Yeah.
as good as this one, it's gonna be fire.
Oh man.
Like it's crazy to me that Kagurabachi is really what I open the app for on Sunday morning at this
Dude, I
point.
get so excited when I middle click that shit to open it up in a new tab, bro. Oh my god, there's so much hype in my bone.
Oh, it's so good, man. If you're not reading Kagurabachi, figure your shit out. Figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Like what's happening?
Tell your friends to read Kagurabachi. Tell your friends to import Kagurabachi volumes.
Yeah, import all the Japanese Kagurabachi volumes.
Yeah.
It's just so good, and I haven't seen any hate for it that I feel has a legitimate point. Because
Yeah.
even for series that I like I'll see someone say I don't really like this aspect. I'm like, okay, like I could see that. Like even if it doesn't bother me, I can see how some people might come to that conclusion. All the hate I see for Kagurabachi feels like absolute slander, like not even remotely. Oh, we're 18 chapters in and nothing has happened yet. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Me when I'm lying.
Yeah, me when I'm full of shit. Like, what do you mean? He's
You when I'm spreading
destroyed one of the
misinformation.
swords. He took down an entire gang. Like, so much shit has happened.
We got introduced to the fucking the elite squadron who half of them died.
Got fucking destroyed by him. Half
At
of them
least
are
all of them
dead.
didn't
Half of
die, I
them are
guess.
paralyzed for the rest of their lives. Oh, dude, it's so like I don't know. I feel like it's getting hate as backlash for being a meme that took off. Because like once you get the like meme status, people
Mhm.
don't want to respect you anymore after that, you know?
Mhm.
Like they want to find reasons. Then again, with every manga ever made, some people need to find a reason as to why it's popular, and it can't be that it's good. Same with like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, they suck. They're terrible. They're just carried by the anime.
I mean,
The anime,
it's like
like,
obviously Kagurabachi's initial wave of hype was because of the memes and like leak culture, like that. Of course, because it didn't have a fucking story yet. So yeah, that makes
yeah, it
sense.
literally didn't exist yet. Like when that shit started.
But at this point, yeah, it's just fucking good, man.
It's just good. Like I don't know, like if you give it a genuine chance and you don't like it, more power to you. But everyone that I've seen be like, actually, it's bad because nothing happens and there's no memorable characters is like, you're full of shit. Like, I'm sorry. You're wrong. Objectively.
Zen and I will defend this manga to our deaths. Okay,
Easily. Easily. All right? Unless it starts to flop, in which case we'll revisit that later on. But for
don't
now,
say that.
for now, it is in fact peak fiction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's honestly it's definitely my favorite thing running right now.
Oh, it's
Like
easily my favorite thing running right now, for
maybe
sure.
when Undead Unluck kicks back in to gear.
Yeah, Undead Unluck when it's at peak, it's pretty hard to compete with, but
Yeah,
it has not been at peak for very long. I mean that Andy chapter, pretty sick, dude.
yeah,
When
yeah,
he's fighting all of them in their little area, and that pretty fucking sick.
yeah.
And then we're back to boxing a child in the woods, which is not doing it for me. But Kagurabachi, read it for real. Read it. What's wrong with
Yeah,
you? Pick it up right now. And that's it, I think, for us today. I think
yeah.
unless you want to gab about Kagurabachi some more.
No, no, I'm good. I gotta go to the store before it starts raining again.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode, and we will catch you in the next one.